And we are
All
live.
right, we're ready to go?
Yep, we're live.
So, Trevor, do you start this off? Do I start it off?
I think generally you're going to ask Tom some questions about himself, and
Yeah.
or not. We can talk.
Where were you? Where were you on the night of September 25th? Hey, Tom, it's really good to see you. I think Tom and I go back a ways now, almost 15 years, when I think you sold your first cartoon to the New Yorker in 2010, right?
Correct.
And it's I think it's a Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and one of them is saying to, I guess, Alice, I prefer to be called Dave.
Yes. So that was the first cartoon that got published. The one that I first sold was the bow-legged cowboy one.
Bow-legged.
You don't see the legs beneath the swinging doors of the saloon.
Yeah, and you can't see. Yeah. And
the Tweedledee one was where I first got a hint of your editorial power, because I had sold it as I prefer the name Steve, and you changed it to Dave.
Once again, that showed why they paid me the big bucks.
That's right.
That kind of stuff was absolutely. But when we look, so Tom's been doing that, and so what else have you been doing? So you've been a cartoonist. So was that where you started your cartooning career, sort of right at the top at the New Yorker?
Yeah. So I had done cartoons for my college paper, that sort of thing, and then I sold some cartoons to the Funny Times.
And like whenever people go to Yale or Harvard, they never say.
Yeah, well,
I sold cartoons for a college in my college in New Haven.
In New Haven, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The more modest you try to be, the bigger of a jerk you sound when it eventually comes out.
Yeah,
you might as well just get it over with.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I saw the Yale Herald. They published some cartoons of mine. I was actually the cartoon editor for that paper my senior year, which essentially consisted of browbeating.
You picking your own cartoons, just like I did.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Prominently placed them too on the paper.
Yeah.
And but it was really Far Side influenced, that sort of a little more crass humor. But then I started submitting to the New Yorker, and it took me about 3 years to break in. When I sold my first cartoon, I went back and counted, and I sold the 610th cartoon that I sent to you, Bob.
There you go. That's in my tradition. There it is. That was the tradition that I made everybody follow. That now is a distant past tradition.
And not all the one I was learning on the fly, so not all of those 609 that led up to it were undiscovered masterpieces. they were floundering, and I was trying to hone in on my style. And I think I was in California, flew to New York, saw you in person. You didn't buy anything from me in that meeting, but it was good just to see you. And then I started sending cartoons directly to you and got some good feedback. And then just stayed in the trenches for the past 15 years.
But what other stuff have you done in cartooning, not just the New Yorker, right?
Yeah, I have a syndicated comic strip that I do now for Andrews McMeel called Home Free on their Go Comics website. I have my 4th kids book coming out this summer. So I'm doing illustrating. Simon Rich wrote 2 of the ones that I illustrated, and I have my own that I also write. In publishing in various ways. Yeah,
and really, Tom befits his college background. Is I think definitely a thinking person's cartoonist. Here, if we look at here I just want to make a plug here for CartoonStock and for what we do for cartoonists. Now here is Tom's best-selling cartoon on CartoonStock, which you can see has earned a bundle of money.
Let me see.
Well, I think you only get half of it.
You guys keeping that money?
Yeah, he gets half.
But my point is, when you look at the cartoons that Tom does, there's usually, whereas I think maybe originally there was a Far Side influence, I think you're usually trying to make some sort of point. Okay. And here, yes, the planet got destroyed, but for a beautiful moment in time, we created a lot of value for shareholders. And just a little background, the stuff that CartoonStock does, we translate that wonderful cartoon into all these different languages. We use the AI in a very ethical way by describing the cartoon and by tagging it. And and then when we gather all this together, we'll use it, of course, to destroy the world. But but for now, we're just doing that. So why don't we get to the great cartoon that
Here's
Tom
one
created.
quick note about Tom's cartoon. This is actually the most entries we ever received. So
Really? There you go.
congratulations, Tom. Yep.
There you go.
I think it was due to the pornographic nature of
Yeah, I think we promised to take off the leaves.
Give the people what they want. That's my motto.
give them what they want. Give them what they want.
So we have
And really just wonderful in terms both of the drawing and watercolor. Now, how do you work? You work in traditional media, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I have a tablet now that I started using a little while ago, so I'll use that for the sketching process, just because of the ease of editing is kind of unmatched. But then I will take that sketch that I'm happy with, and I'll print it out, and then I'll do the finish in ink on a light board as a reference, having the sketch as a reference underneath the actual paper. So the finish is a hard copy finish in watercolor and ink.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, really nice work.
And I don't often do. It's nice to work in color. You don't often get the opportunity to do that, especially at the New Yorker. But this was what pitch I originally had sent to Playboy, back when Playboy magazine was still publishing cartoons. Yeah.
So you do have a caption for this.
Yeah, but you have to save that. We save that for
we say that.
But as you can see, it's a Adam and Eve scene. Eve covered in leaves, Adam one leaf over his genitalia. There is a vine that has the illusion of a snake, which is nice.
Does he have genitalia? Doesn't he have just a general?
I mean, yeah, and then belly buttons. I mean, people had captions. There are all sorts of captions.
Well, people had a lot of captions, yeah.
And you can see that Eve is talking because Adam does not have a mouth.
I always, my characters, I go for minimal expression, so only the person delivering the punchline has a mouth, usually.
That's great.
No, we appreciate that. That if you watch these videos, it's always a debate over who's talking. So you made it.
Some people, for some reason, had Adam talking.
Yes, they will always do that. This one, there's no ambiguity.
No doubt.
I wasn't sure whether to give Adam a belly button. I wrestled with that for a while, and I decided it would be distracting if there wasn't one. I don't know. Yeah. I overthink things. As Bob mentioned, I overthink things.
Yeah. But in a good way.
So the way we actually, you know what? We'll stay on this image. we have. I will share the captions. So we all gave 10, and we included the top 10. And through that amount, there were 8 captions that were shared among our entries.
Wow.
So that could be 4, 2, but minimum of 2. These are the 8 that we had in common or were shared. Well, you don't expect me to wear the same thing every day, do you?
I didn't pick that. You shared among.
Yeah, these are all the ones that we at least someone.
Someone sure.
They were on sale.
Yep.
Stop defoliating me with your eyes. He does kind of look like he's looking down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe now you'll notice what color my eyes are.
Same kind of joke.
It's so easy for men. There were a lot of variations on this one.
Yeah, that's the best.
It's so easy for men. I'm Orthodox. It makes no sense, but they wear a lot of clothes when it's hot out. I'm dressed for the fall, capital F.
Yeah, that doesn't
that
make
was good.
sense. Go ahead.
And then this is I'm covered in penises.
It's so stupid.
It's so
Yeah, it's so
stupid.
stupid. I mean, that's funny.
This is the one
It
that got
did.
the biggest laugh of the group.
Yeah.
It did make me laugh. It did make me laugh
does
out loud.
make you laugh.
But I did not. I want to make it clear. I did not choose that.
No,
Yeah, I
actually,
did
Joel
not,
and
yeah.
I chose this one. Believe it or not, I
okay.
thought this was a Lawrence one. But,
Okay. That's
It is not. I want to clarify that.
and on account of the fact that his is a penis being covered, I think so. That's hence. All right, so those are the ones that we all had in common. We let's see if we can try to knock it down to 6. Again, we have 6 winners, with one of the 6 being the grand prize winner. So let us see if we can knock any out here of our shared ones.
I don't think I'm covered in penises.
That one got it's a laugh.
Well,
That's an easy one.
I mean, my criteria is usually, could this actually be a cartoon in the New Yorker? Could the caption work that way? Now, I understand there's a captionary aesthetic, which is we're sort of fooling around. We're doing a yes and improv thing, and that's okay. It's just not my taste, and it works. It's a yes and. Let's just think of, we're using this picture as a jumping off point to have fun with, rather than create an actual cartoon. But usually I won't, and that works for humor. Absolutely. I think it works. Yeah, you can be funny with that. And the penises is one like that. And it's almost funny because it violates the traditional cartoon template, right?
Absolutely.
It becomes unexpected in that way.
It has to come after the drawing.
Yeah. But I try to think like, I don't want to of course you can have the anachronism, but I don't want to make it too weird. And anyway, so that's my
correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but I remember in one of our discussions about the art of captioning, you had mentioned at some point that it's important that the speaker not be consciously delivering a joke.
Right. Or I like it better that way,
right.
Although that can certainly be effective. I mean, in Alex Gregory's stuff, in comedy writer stuff, you often do have the speaker delivering a joke or a quip. Even in William Hamilton stuff, you can have someone saying something snarky and clearly they're understanding it. But I think it's just more natural for me if they're not doing that. You can definitely be funny that way. The example I give is when I gave presentations, was you have a 1947 cartoon where a woman is at a baseball game, she's looking at her watch, and she's saying, why didn't they tell us there would be an extra inning? She's not making that a joke. Yeah, I mean, they're making fun of women there. In an Alex Gregory joke where a woman is saying, I started my vegetarianism for moral reasons, then health concerns, now just to annoy people. That's a sitcom joke. Okay, so I mean, it's different ways of doing it. You can definitely do it. My preference is, and then there's a middle, and then if it's really, really funny, it doesn't matter, as always.
Right. And in this scenario, in this particular situation, Eve is making a joke, right? So it's almost like sort of a prank. So.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like what? Yeah. Well, that's interesting because she has put on all these leaves,
right?
But she has put on all these leaves, but maybe she's not exactly. Maybe she feels the reason to put on these leaves. Like, it's so easy for men she's basically saying, it's easy for you, but this is the way I have to dress. So I don't
I
know.
meant,
No,
in
we went
the,
for the penises one. Yeah, she's
I
kind of
meant in
making.
the penises one. It's like she put on all that just to deliver this joke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
that's
making.
icing.
She's making fun of him, and and that she's making a joke in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just to get to 6, let's knock one other out before we.
I would say not.
Well, wait, don't we have to review what everyone did? Gabe?
Yeah, we always fight for hours that weren't shared in the group.
Okay.
I would not if they were on sale, just because that's a tired caption contest joke. Anytime you have one like I think Drew Dernovich had one where there were a ton of pianos in a room.
I was thinking. I think when I read these, this one got the least reaction out of anybody, so I'm fine.
It also implies. I mean, you have to really. Is there a system of commerce in Eden? Like, what are we talking about?
Well, that's also the way I was reviewing it. And like, how much do you really have to distort this?
It's also a little sexist.
How much does she have to somehow think in the future where it doesn't exist? Yeah.
So we are down to 6. All right. First, we got Lawrence here. Do you have? I'll make these a little bigger for you here.
Out of these, I kind of like the the idea that she was going to take his one leaf. She doesn't really need it, and she's going to take the only thing he has. So I did like "Give me back my leaf." I need one more leaf. I thought we were going out tonight was a nice formal wear joke. I've been looking for that is the same as giving back my leaf, and I need one more leaf. It's so easy for men. I really like. Could I borrow one more? It's the 4th variation on that joke that I like, and I did have maybe now you'll see what color my eyes are, and relax time. They literally grow on trees is okay, but I would fight for one of the jokes that is a variation on the idea that she doesn't need it, but she's going to take his one leaf.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I would be going with, I might go with "Give me back my leaf." That's probably one I like best.
All right. We will throw it in there. Yeah, you had a good bat. You had like 4 in common. So, not to be so dirty here, but I did think it was funny. By the way, I'm not wearing any panties. I thought that made sense.
But once again, for me, all of them.
I know, but this one is not like the penis one. This one makes perfect sense with the drawing. It makes perfect sense with what it's of, the original sin, and it's essentially the only reason.
Yeah, but she's
the only reason
modest.
you're wearing these leaves is for this reason.
Yeah, but she's modest.
Yes, that's the joke. But yeah, I mean, she's. I mean, the only reason they're wearing leaves is.
I don't know if she. Is it that it would be impossible for her to be wearing panties?
Yeah, that's why they wear the leaves.
I mean, where is she going to get the panties?
I just think it does make sense in a.
Where is she going to get the panties not to wear? It's like the sale thing. Where is she going to get panties not to wear?
Unfortunately, I'm agnostic.
How does she even know about that?
I'm too atheist to worry about those problems, but yes, I understand there. So that would be the one that I liked. Have you no shame, only because of what exact that is. They learn shame when she bites the apple. Yeah. That's the whole point of Adam and Eve. This one they had. I'd cover that haircut. I guess I just like her being mean to him. If I were you, I'd cover that haircut instead. I liked. So,
did I draw the hair that badly? Is it a bad?
No, for me, I like her being mean to him. It makes
I know, but like I said, that's so far from what any cartoonist would ever do. That.
Instead is not a good punchline.
No, yeah, I didn't think that was it. Lunch was biblical cat. Then wait for the fall was just like a typical one. But yeah, if I had to pick a favorite, it would be the panties. But I won't.
Wait, what are we doing here? We get to throw our favorite back in the mix.
If you have one you want to fight for, but right now I fought for one.
These are just the preliminary rounds. This won't be decided until after the Electoral College finally votes.
No. Because I have no receipt for the underwear, we'll skip mine. All right, Joel. You're up. Yeah.
If it makes you really feel, it was on the panties one was on my longer list though. If to an English ear, the word panties is a bad word. I don't like the word panties.
Well, I've got 3 daughters. We're saying it all the time, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like that. It just feels weird. Right. So for my list, I had about 3 other things that were sort of shared across the group. So I'm Orthodox was there. They were on sale was there. I'm covered in penises was there. I think that a lot of the jokes don't really lean into the sort of biblical element of it enough in a way. So a lot of the ones that are about they're just kind of jokes about 2 people, one of whom happens to be wearing leaves. A lot of the entries were just kind of referring to the leaves without kind of giving the context for it. So a few of mine I tried to make them about the sort of more about the fall from Eden or whatever it is. So I ate from the tree of embarrassment to I admire the
I think the truth is I'm Orthodox.
Very specific. Yeah, I'm Orthodox is funny.
Well, first of all, it's very compact. Orthodox in this thing. First of all, ending in an X is good. But I think you're making a valid point. There's the other one I ate from the tree of something body, trying to connect it.
Yeah, and we normally say in these discussions that you want to connect it to that you want the joke to be the winning caption to be, to be about the drawing rather than just it could be any drawing. And I think if there's too much that's just about people wearing leaves, doesn't have to be the Garden of Eden, does it? It could be any scenario like that. But there's no, out of the ones that I've picked, there's no one that stands out as I would fight for it particularly. It feels like I'm Orthodox was on a few people's list, but it's not going to win. It's not a kind of a number 1 entry. The one that made me laugh the most was I'm covered in penises, like Trevor, but that's not even in the running. And as usual, the only one I'm going to highlight, I always try and highlight one that is awful, that make Lawrence cross. That's not my entire reason for being, but it's part of it. And it's from the spring. This is bad on a lot of levels.
Oh, okay.
You're going off your list here.
No, yeah, just one off my list that I just know that I wouldn't put it on the list because it's not even worth pretending. But it's from the spring collection by Leaves Saint Laurent. Do you like it?
I had that originally too. There was something about it was a good pun.
No.
But I discarded it.
A pun on a pun ending in a soft question.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's really like capture, like punchlines as questions are hard to pull off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Agreed.
Yes.
All right. And to Tom.
Oh God, I don't know if there's anyone that I would fight for. Let's see. I got to get close. The eyes one. For some reason, I found the "Why are you looking at my hand?" funny, just because it was.
I found that originally also funny, and it does make sense because that's the only part of her that can see.
Yeah. It's like how in the 30s, a woman's ankle would be the most titillating thing.
Exactly, ankles.
There was one about can I borrow yours for a hat that I kind of liked because I liked not only can I have your leaf, I liked having imagining her wearing it as a hat was fun.
Like Lawrence was saying, yeah.
Well, so also, I might fight for the hat one.
There were a lot of small penis jokes, but Tom, you're the only one who selected one as being a top 10 entry. You only need one leaf. We're definitely not in paradise anymore.
Oh.
But there were.
I won't fight for that one.
No, but it's interesting just because there were a ton of jokes that were similar.
Yeah. Joel's point is interesting. That do we need to draw attention to the fact that this is Eden through having the punchline emphasize that fact and have it be specific to the drawing rather than just 2 people?
Right.
I'm not sure.
I think that's putting too much of a burden. When you have too many degrees. If you can do it, yes. It's better, but to require it, because but Joel's making a point. If we look back on, let's say, a CartoonStock anywhere, at all the Adam and Eve jokes.
So I had done a previous Adam and Eve joke. That was one of the earlier ones you bought from me, Bob, where they're depicted in much the same way, where they're two people in a nature setting, but they're their bodies are entwined in a very weird way. And Adam is saying the first time is always a little awkward.
Yeah, that's
so
a great. That's a great cartoon, and in some ways, I think, but it does relate to the scene.
Yeah,
I mean,
but the joke is the first time ever.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So that's using
the scene. Yeah, I mean, in the past ones, like the one in the parking lot with the demon, was like we had to incorporate shopping. I do think incorporating that it's Adam and Eve is important.
Yeah.
There's probably a degree of difficulty where you get points for it, the more you can do. So
right.
So I guess we'll.
There was another Adam and Eve. I think I've only sold 2 Adam and Eve ones to the New Yorker. That was the first time was always awkward, and the second one was them just lounging around in paradise, and Eve is saying something like, "What's worse, eating from the tree of knowledge and getting kicked out, or sitting around here with nothing to talk about?"
Yeah.
So you have to say the tree of knowledge, like in the caption.
Yeah.
I have a third here. I'm going to quickly share of yours, Tom, because I was looking at your.
Was I wrong? Do I have another one? Oh, I have another one. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm also self-conscious about my feet, and he's wearing leaves on his toes.
Yeah. That was when I was in a ferocious battle with toenail fungus. So that was a personal joke.
And you did get some nipples in the New Yorker. I know some cartoonists who fought over getting nipples in the New Yorker. So
yeah.
Well, one of the things I wrote something at once called for my blog called Nipplegate, because a Mitch Stevens cartoon was Adam and Eve cartoon, and there was 2 little dots on the woman's for breasts, and Facebook, deleted that cartoon because at that point there was some controversy on Facebook whether you could show breasts. So there's a whole Nipplegate. Now I'm going to defend my cartoons because in this way, I use Claude 3.5 Sonnet we can look at them here to see why the cartoons I picked, this is AI, why they were good. They didn't get them all right. I'm dressed for the fall, multi-layered humor referencing both the biblical fall from grace and autumn fashion. Strong cultural reference, clever wordplay. And actually, I think I'm dressed for the fall is actually a good, actually a quite good cartoon. It's so easy for men, commentary on gender, double standards, less sophisticated. I gave it a lot of criteria, but less sophisticated. Stop defoliating me with your eyes. Clever wordplay combining undressing with eyes. They were on sale. So I'll stop here. It didn't get used to it, and I like show mine again, Trevor. Sorry.
I'm worried this made me like them less, Bob.
What's that? I know, but I know that. I understand that. That's why I did it. But I'm dressed for the fall. I think is really good caption.
Can I
because you combine because there were a lot of fall fashions, but this is the fall of man, the fall of human. And so it combines both of those things.
But can I just I always want to say, can I push back? But I just disagree.
Yeah, sure.
So my disagreement is that, so what she's saying, it doesn't make logic. She's saying she's put on all these leaves because they're naturally going to fall off. It doesn't, I mean, the bit about the fall from Eden and the autumn, that makes sense. But why is she wearing clothes that will fall apart? That doesn't make sense.
Well, I guess if I have one complaint, and I guess I taught CCD, but it's Adam who disobeys God.
It's Adam who what?
Adam is the one who disobeys God. he's the one who causes the fall.
Well, see, it
But
breaks
then they
bonds.
but the reason they both
Eve is just a rib, is worthless. She could be corrupted. It's that Adam eats.
they both sew on the leaves because they think that they'll be able to get away with it. They do it as some sort of excuse to make up for it, to cover their shame, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the disobedience of Adam is the problem. I mean, who cares?
We're overthinking it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good caption.
Yeah, it's a good caption.
I like the goddess would have made it warmer because that's why she's dressed, and it brings in a whole other level of the gender of the deity. I'm Orthodox, I think, should definitely be in there. I wouldn't fight. I think all these are good. Is that what you're wearing? It's so easy for men. But I think stop defoliating me with your eyes is a good caption. That should be in there. I'll go along with Lawrence on they were on sale. I did like, why do you want me to take them off slowly?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a funny caption.
Yeah.
Because now it makes us think a whole other thing. You have to think that through, which is a striptease. So, I mean, I think that's funny. That should definitely be in there.
There was another one I thought was funny. In that same tone, there was another one I thought was funny. It was unique among the long list of them. It was what was Eve saying? Eve was saying like, now pretend that you're a rake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was kind of like,
okay.
Yeah, role play.
Yeah.
You want a few extras for wiping? I don't know.
Oh, Jesus God.
Whoa.
So, Bob, we put in. Want me to take them off?
I think all humor, when you get down to it, it's potty humor, or a version of it. It gets back to our basic vulnerabilities, processes, whatever.
This one does end with
first
a
thing
question
we
mark.
find funny.
So which one, Bob, did you want to put in the take them off slowly? The goddess one is funny.
I like the slowly one. I think that's funny.
Well, I think also when we look at all the captions, to some extent, I'm calibrating on how unique it is, how different it is from everything else. Is it making another point? You know, where so many of them fall into variations of the same category. So a goddess would have made it warmer is interesting.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, as I said, Tom is a thinking person's cartoonist. That's the kind of thing that.
Let's add this one because the question mark captions are tough, I think.
Yeah, I'm smart for a cartoonist.
You're absolutely.
That's the one knock against the fall one, is that it is a great caption, but it was very common.
Yeah.
Among the choices. Yeah.
But the I'm dressed for the fall is not common.
Right.
It's not common.
Right.
No, there was one about the spring collection. It's like, how do you miss the whole fall collection? Like the person who wrote that one, it was a head shaker. And then we have our top 10. I want you to covet me for my wisdom. I'll lead you not into temptation. I'm not ashamed. I'm chilly. It's from the Fall of Man collection. Looks like someone's ready to sin again. My last boyfriend had 2 leaves. Stop defoliating me with your eyes. That was some gust of wind. Have you tried watering it? Want to take off that fig leaf and raise a little cane?
Ugh.
There were a lot of fig jokes as well.
A lot of people seem to think it was like poison ivy too.
Yes, poison ivy jokes and fig jokes. Yeah.
There were testicle jokes also involving acorns.
Hence the figs and the twig and berries.
But the problem with the acorn one, like the acorn ones, is another rule of captioning, is the caption can't reference something that isn't actually in the drawing, right? You know, like their word.
I think she maybe sees
from her angle, maybe
from her angle,
right.
So for the top 10, we should probably begin to stop defoliating me with your eyes. Because
Well, we have too many now.
I would get rid of the last one that's long. Well, you don't expect me to wear the same thing every day.
yeah, that's too long.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
with that.
and the do you is unnecessary.
What were the Trevor? What were the top 10 ones that you just read? Those were the audience votes.
Audience votes, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we usually make fun of them more than we did just now.
I would get rid of defoliating, but
yeah, okay. Well, how many do we? We need 5, right?
Yeah, we just need to get rid of one more.
Okay.
We're comfortable with that. No one's fighting. I'm happy to getting rid of defoliating. No one.
You can my hat one. I don't think is necessarily that funny. I just thought it was unique.
I think we didn't add that one. Sorry, Tom.
I think maybe now you'll notice what color my eyes are. That like has too many bumps.
yeah, maybe that's the one that should go and keep.
You know what I mean? It's just too many. It's maybe you start up now. I don't know. The rhythm of it is wrong.
Stop defoliating me with your eyes. It is well worded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine. Neither of those two I'm laughing at.
Yeah.
We are.
I would bet in most cases when you're winnowing down, you could literally just take out the longest ones, just how physically long the actual wording is.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
yeah.
you are right. Historically,
Tom, you're a guest on this.
And
you're a guest. You're just here temporarily. This is
my best-selling cartoon has 2 sentences. So
yeah. But people relate to it so much.
So we have our final 6 here. So now it is time to pick our grand prize winner. Do you want to look at them on the cartoon?
Yes,
we do.
I think we should.
Show that beautiful drawing one more time.
Yeah, one more time.
All right. I think I have to add. Which one do I have to add? Give me back my leaf. And a goddess would have made it warmer. Hold on a second. And what else are we adding back? We are adding Bob's. Sorry. Whoops.
I'm not sure why I left her hand exposed. I guess it just makes it more like a jumpsuit sort of look, or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It makes it more clear that it's like she's wearing it, I guess.
What are other ones?
Clothing. Yeah, exactly. Not just a pile of leaves.
All right. I'm just deleting a couple of these here. All right. So I'm dressed for the fall. Classic.
I do like it.
Covers all the bases. Classic.
Even objections, I think Joel just thought too much about it. No. Even if what he thought was correctly.
Covers the bases. It's classic. This one's funny.
That's funny.
That does make me laugh.
This one is probably funnier, but doesn't cover the same amount of bases. It's a good joke. Doesn't cover much else than it's more of the fashion, not bringing into the Adam and Eve part.
Yeah.
Give me back my leaf.
It's funny, but that could
funny, but yeah, and the goddess would have made it warmer.
That's pretty good.
That's the most meaningful, but
I didn't get dressed for the fall. Yeah, they both cover the Adam and Eve and
yeah.
I like the fall. It's perfectly worded.
Yeah. Let's go with that. There it is. We have it. Lawrence Wood, the 8-time winner and 14-time finalist, is
15.
Helped
How dare you.
with his book. Plug for the book. Lawrence, you can plug your own book.
And Tom has 2 cartoons in the book, so another plug there.
The check cleared. Thank you.
How did that happen?
So this was submitted by a John Kono, Konno. Congratulations to John. You are the recipient of the CartoonStock caption contest. 500.
What is it? Arkham's razor, right? The clearest choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Tom. Thank you, everybody, for watching our YouTube video and for submitting.
We don't know Tom's.
And just incidentally, Joel, I just looked the guy up. He's a biblical scholar.
He's a sinner. Oh yeah, we don't. I'm sorry, we don't have. So real quick, we don't have Tom's original caption, but Tom had originally submitted this to Playboy.
Oh
So
God!
I hope
Don't show
it's
the
more
caption.
dirty.
It's a bad caption. It's a bad caption.
So what?
It was not Bob by Playboy because it was not a good caption.
What was your original caption?
My original caption was Eve saying, "My idea of paradise involves less TNA."
There we go.
Okay, so as I was saying to Trevor, cartoon I sold to Playboy. Clearly, they like this phrase because I have two scientists walking out of a lab, and one is saying to the other, "Oh, I'm happy to be in R&D, but I wish I was in TNA." So, they clearly like that. And Playboy, is Playboy completely defunct now?
They don't have a print magazine anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, well.
Yeah. On that note, well, thank you everybody for submitting. Thank you for watching the YouTube video. We will see you in 1 month with another cartoonist. Not Tom. Just invited. All right. Bye.